Baby, will you stand and let people understand that a fat man can't have a good-looking wife? That's been my girlfriend now for 33 years, and I thank God so much for Carolyn. And hopefully tonight we'll have some of the other family. Maybe we can talk to the little ones and come in as well. But we need to get into our message because I want to get you out of here before 2 o'clock. Now, 2 is when we agreed, right? 2 o'clock? Okay. I'm just joking. Can we go ahead and have these lights in the front, just in the platform, just take those out. And anything over top of my head that makes my hair look thin, just get rid of this. I just want to say that this morning I want to speak on a topic that is going to be kind of an introduction from what I understand that you guys are going to be covering here in the upcoming weeks about what is it? Jesus being a fan of Jesus or whatever. And when Pastor was telling me, I always like to kind of get a heart for you guys. You're still showing my bald head. Get these right above me off, because you don't need to see me. And I know you got that camera, but don't worry about that. Let's just keep the pictures. See how Jesus, he had long hair. You know, and what I'm planning on doing is let mine grow in the back and then pull it forward. Do the evangelist bangs there. But anyway, if you guys will work on that, I appreciate that because that'll help me. But we want to just share something this morning that I hope will go along with this theme because there you go. As pastors and as evangelists, my job is to try to work with and flow with those that obviously are leading the church. And we're not here today to do anything but to help dovetail into what obviously God has led your shepherd into doing. But I just want to speak to you from my heart a message that is going to be a little hard maybe at first to take. And I want you to if anything, I want you to listen and you be the judge of whether or not I'm telling you the truth according to the Word of God. We have a dilemma today, and that is that we've produced a Christianity that is nothing like the Christianity found in the Word of God. Well, I shouldn't say nothing like. I'd say very little like the biblical Christianity. I don't know if any of you have ever remember back before we got into fancy computers, if you would, type up something, you want to make a lot of copies of it, instead of have to sit there and type it and type it and type it again, you got a little a copy machine, and somebody make you a copy of something, and then let's say it was a Sunday school handout or whatever, or something, some jokes or something you got at work, and then they'd take that copy and they'd make a copy of it. And then the person who made a copy of it turned it just a little tiny, slightly a little bit. So the next time it came out, it was just a little crooked. And then they made copies of that. And after about the third or fourth generation, the letters were all smudgy and there were little specks on it. And it did not look like the original at all. And I'm going to tell you, after 2,000 years, I think we need to go back to the original and take a real good look at what we have compared to what was in the original. And I'm going to entitle my message, obviously, the Jesus Christ, the American Idol. Isaiah 44 speaks about a very interesting man. It talks about this guy who cuts down some wood, and he brings it into his house, and he takes some of that wood, and he starts a fire. And he uses that fire to cook himself a meal. Then he takes the remaining pieces of that exact same tree that he cut down and uses that wood to carve and to make an idol. Now, imagine this person taking that piece of wood and carving it to look like a bearded man with a robe. And at the bottom of that carving, he would write the name or carve the name Jesus. And every day he would start off his day by bowing down to this carved Jesus. Now, would that make that man a Christian? Yes or no? No, it wouldn't make him a Christian. It would make him a what? An idolater. He's worshiping an idol. Now, he's worshiping something that is named Jesus, but it's not Jesus. Am I right? All right, now with that in mind, you've got to understand that that is very insulting, and it's an abomination to God. It's idolatry. Now, in a similar fashion, modern American Christianity has created many versions of a Jesus that hardly resembles the Jesus that is revealed in the Word of God. And now, folks, we have a new American idol, and yet God, just as much as he detests what that man has done, he detests this American idol that we call Jesus. Now, I don't know if you've kind of watched and looked around, but there's a lot of this stuff going on today. It's crazy the amount of really borderline blasphemy that's being done in the name of the Lord. I mean, you can find these little figurines and Jesus things all over the place. There's a little, nodder or the little bobblehead that you can put up on your dashboard and stuff. And it's called the Buddy Christ. Now, here's one that is, number one football Jesus. And of course you can get these little statues. There's a whole series called the Jesus Inspirational Sports Statues. You can get Jesus helping your little boys play baseball, or your daughter and son, teach them how to, have appropriate golf swing, or the football Jesus, or the karate Jesus, or of course you got the basketball Jesus, or for the little girls, the ballerina Jesus. Now, some people take it offensive that we would make fun of this stuff, but folks, this is nuts. This is crazy. And you can say what you want to say, but people are taking this Jesus thing and making themselves an idol out of this. For example, I was amazed to find the super Jesus, the bodybuilder Jesus, who's just got some serious biceps going on there. So he breaks the cross in two with his mighty superpowers. Then, of course, out in front of the yard was a kind of one that catches your eye. It's got Jesus on the cross and his hands are out. But isn't it great? And our Jesus is holding the American flags, because everybody knows that if you put Jesus Saves right in the middle of it, it's USA. Just like Jerusalem. The middle is USA, and you can have your little patriotic Jesus there. And, of course, you've got the Easter Bunny alternative, in case you want to be not celebrate Easter like the pagans. You can get yourself, but of course you can still eat your little chocolate Jesus. Of course, you got to worry where you're going to take the bite first. Then, of course, for the rockers, you got your Jesus Rocks poster, and for the ravers, you got your Jesus. This Jesus Saves, Jesus Raves, and then, of course, you got your Rolling Stones did a cover on Kanye West, and of course, there's your Jesus for all the rappers. And then, of course, if you like a little wine for the stomach's sake, then you got your Jesus for the drinkers, and the King of Beer Jesus. And then, of course, what about the one toke over the line sweet leaf Jesus? Where you can smoke a little dope, because, God made the herb-bearing seed, and, he's called the Most High, so why can't you get high? And I think when you start looking at this, folks, this stuff's getting to be kind of ridiculous. You got a whole line of T-shirts right now and ball hats called Jesus is my homeboy. Matter of fact, these people take this so seriously, you can see where this lady actually had a tattoo of Jesus is my homeboy on her neck. And then, of course, you see one of the famous movie stars there. He's got his Jesus is my homeboy t-shirt and his hat. And Pamela Anderson bearing her little Jesus is my homeboy. Of course, you can get one for your dog. Everybody wants a dog that's got Jesus as their homeboy. And but here's what's happened.